Hello and welcome to another video lecture for the course CIT 207. So, in this video, we'll continue on discussing the next topic, and that topic is your inheritance and method overloading. Okay, so, in the previous unit, you already have a background on creating this UML class diagrams, and now we'll try to translate that um, one by one into a working code. First is to start on with your inheritance. So these are the topics that we'll be discussing. The first is the object families, and second is the generalization and specialization. I think you've already heard of this before. And then next is inheritance, basics of inheritance. And then when creating classes or your subclasses, so we have some rules, access control, and other things that we need to consider specifically for a constructor. Then last is we will discuss what is an object class. So this is related or specific to the Java application or programming. Okay. So when we say inheritance, that this is outside the OOP. So when we inherit something, that is a characteristic being passed down from one generation to another. So in that case, so from your parents, a characteristics from your parents are going to be passed down to you. So that can be physical characteristics or your financial characteristics or other things. Yes. So those those belong from your parents, and now you have access to it. And this plays an important part in object-oriented design and programming. So this principle is being followed in OOP. Yes. So I think you're already familiar with constructors, diba? What is the purpose of constructors in classes and access control and modifiers? So we need to say we can set some variables or some properties or attributes to be public or private. Private meaning some classes or your main program can access it directly. Okay. So we also need to consider the use of abstract classes. So there are cases where you can use abstract classes and method overriding, as these are also important concepts in the context of inheritance. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic, which is generalization and specialization. So when we say classes, so these are a generalized form from which objects with different details can be created. So meaning the object are instances or object instances of their class. Yeah. So different class. So the class is the template, and then when we create something out of the class, so that is an object. So we have an example, student 05134567, so student ni siya, but it has a specific na value or may instansya. So therefore, this is an instance of the class student. More concisely, the 05123457 is a student. Okay. So classes themselves can often be organized by a similar kind of relationship. So may relationship siya sila nga describe or connect with other classes. So here, I think I'm familiar with the hierarchy, diba? Ang sa babaw is the general level, then followed by your subcategories, sub-level. So ang sa mga organizational charts, diba, sa babaw is the president, and then under the president are the following. So under example is the ato nga kanimo kingdom. So ang pagano ang pag-breakdown sa meron ta ang sa pinakababaw, so kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. Okay, so to visually, see what this diagram will be. So amo ni siya. So ang sa babaw is the kingdom, and then sa dalom, so this is the genus, ang pinaka last part. Ino-notice ka, mayroon kita entry nga Fred. Tapos kung kumpletuhan na siya, atong diagram, so that will take more time and space unavailable. But we will only focus on a specific na class, okay, and a specific an object. So makita niyo sa galong, mayroon kita Fred. So manotice ka si Fred, hindi niya siya cut, hindi niya siya Felix Leo, under niya siya sa Felix Leo. So Fred is not a class, but an actual animal. As we discussed previously, the Fred is an object instance or an instance of the class animal. So we say Fred is a Felix Leo, and so Felix Leo is a Felix, and Felix is a cat, and then cat is a carnivore. So gamata mo siya sa cat. So Felix Leo is a Felix, Felix is a cat is a carnivore, and carnivore is a mammal, and so on. So carnivores eat meat, so Fred has the characteristic, may property siya, attribute siya na it's meat. So Fred is a Felix Leo. So here, so Felix Leo, Felix is a cat, and then cat is a carnivore, and then carnivore is an animal, it's a mammal, and then mammal is a vertebrate. And meron kita vertebrates have a backbone, so Fred has a characteristic na as a backbone. Okay. So manotice ka, meron siya tinatawag na relationships. Ang pag-establish siyang relationship is A. This one is A. That one is A. Muna, to describe it as ang relationship, specifically ang inheritance. So we specify the general characteristics high up, the hierarchy, and more specific characteristics lower down. So makita ta sa animal kingdom, all those above are the general characteristics. While sa dalon, kamat-amat na specific. So up to the genus. So an important principle in object-oriented programming, so we call this generalization and specialization. So meaning, general at sa babaw, we determine the general concepts, components, and the specialization is we determine these specialized or specific na categories. So all of these characteristics ng classes about a class and object, so ang is A na to, in the hierarchy are automatically featured in, so we call this your inheritance. Amo na ang process of inheritance. Okay, so let's check another example. Mayroon kita sa books and magazine. Kasi books kaya naman na siya. That is type of publication as well as your magazine. So yeah, I think you already knowledgeable naman sa UML. So we can represent these classes in a UML. So in doing so, we can see some of the inheritance variables and methods these classes may have. So for example, meron kita sa book class, meron siya title, author, price, and copies. And for the methods, we have the copy and then order copy. So si title, si price, order quantity, current issue, and copies are present in the magazine na class. While ang iyang methods, may sa copy man siya, adjust quantity, and receive new issue. Okay. So here, your attributes like your title, author, and price are obvious. Meaning to say, when we think of a magazine, mayroon siya sa title, author, and price. So also when we think of a book, so may title siya, author, and price. So last of use is copies. So the copies just tells us how many are currently in stock. So in stock sa book and in stock sa magazine. So here, so for books, all copies takes a parameter specifying how many copies are added to a stock. So when we say other copies, so maadubang kita sa current copy sa aton nga magazine o book. So for magazine, order quantity. So this is the number of copies received of each new issue, and the current issue attribute is the date period of the current issue. Okay. So here, when a new issue is received, the old issue or the old are replaced or discarded, and the other quantity copies are placed in stock. So therefore, ang receive new issue nga method sets the current issue to date of the new issue and restores copies to other quantity. So si adjust quantity yan, modifies the other quantity to alter how many copies of subsequent issues will be stocked. Okay, so looking at the previous na classes, identify the commonalities and differences in the two classes. So let's go back. So here, identify the common na attributes and then common na methods as well as different attributes, so, meaning attributes that are only present in a specific class as well as a method. Okay, so here, so ang sa common niya, so mayroon sila three instance variables or three characteristics or attributes na common. So we have title, price, and copies. And with regard naman sa method, both of them have the method sa copy. But for the differences, so books additionally has an author and other copies. So magazine additionally has a order, quantity, current issue, adjust quantity, and receive issue. So these attributes or methods are only found within a specific class. Okay. So therefore, so since we already determined the common, so we can separate out these common members of a class into a superclass called publication. Kaya to, so when we say factor out, so we try to remove and then move this into another class. So the difference will need to be specified as additional members for the subclasses, book and magazine. So checking at the newer na UML, so you can see that meron na kita isa ka class. Isa ka new class called publication. Then this is considered to be a superclass. It contains the common na attributes, let's say title, si price, and then si copies. And then ang method sa copy. And for the books and magazine, nag-retain lang yapon sila, but the number of attributes and methods has been altered. Meaning, ang attributes to na title sa book, ang price and copies, being moved to sa publication as well as sa magazine. Okay. So ang publication is considered as your superclass, and then these two are considered as the subclasses. So this matawag mambata nga ay nga galing book ta. Sorry. So nga galing book ta, kaya since all of these are common, and then si book and then si magazine can inherit or can just copy all of these properties, all of these attributes into from the superclass. So, hindi na kita mag-declare dira sang title, sang price, copies sa either book or magazine na class. So, those are automatically being fetched in your publication. So, this arrow represents the inheritance. Inheritance na siya na arrow, na relationship. Okay. So, although wala din sila sa title price copies, ang subclass para siya sa generalized na characteristics or attributes plus additional specialized characteristics. So, si book class siya has four instance variables. So, dala to ang title price copies from the publication plus the author. So, si author ara sa iya lang. So, the inherited characteristics are not listed in subclasses. So, the arrow shows they are acquired or inherited from your subclass. Okay, so here we have an activity. So to arrange the following classes into a suitable hierarchy and draw this on a class diagram. So here we have a current account, a deposit account, a bank account, and Simon's deposit account. Let's try to create a simple UML. So sinudi ang general, sinudi ang subclasses. So we say that ang bank account, so si bank account that we can say that this is a general na account, a general type of account. So that can be your superclass, and then the current account and then deposit account can be your subclass. So the most general class goes at the top of the inheritance hierarchy, while other classes that inheriting attributes and methods of this class. So what about ang Simon's deposit account? Ano mo siya? So is this a superclass or a subclass? So same man to sa sa animal kingdom, si Fred, di ba? So Simon's deposit account should not be shown in the class diagram as this is a specific instance of a class. So i.e., it is an object. Okay. So here also we have three classes that we want to arrange into a suitable hierarchy. There's map as some house, building, and then the car. So we say C house is a type of building, so therefore we can associate that by the inheritance and can therefore inherit that attributes of building. However, si kaya, dito na siya matawag na building. So we cannot place two classes in an inheritance hierarchy unless we can use a term is A. So maganda siya ang so main indicator for a inherited na class. So to determine if that specific class is subclass of a parent class or a superclass. Okay. So here we have another activity to describe the following using a suitable class diagram showing any sensible relationship. So meron kita building for rent. This will have a method. Ang method na siya to determine the rent and then a house for rent. So this will also determine the rent method. Your rent collector. So this is another class. And then this class will have the method to use the determine rent method to print out a bill. Making bill siya na method. Yeah. So in this case, rent collector does not inherit from a building. Kasi rent collector hindi na siya, is not a building. Okay. House is a building, but rent collector is not a building. So may, although that's not a building, may relationship din siya yapon. The rent collector can still interact with the building, but different lang na process. The rent collector needs to determine the rent of the bill of the building ready to print out the bill. So muna siya, doon may access. The rent collector will just have to access the rent in order to print out the bill. Okay. So ang araw gali so, since hindi siya inherited, so we depict a different na association. So looking at the previous slide, so determine if the rent collector can print out the bill for the rent due on a house or they can just print a bill for them. Okay. Firstly, to print out the bill, a rent collector will need to know the rent due. So may access siya dapat eh. But in the, sa house, wala siya sang determine rent na method. But this does mean is that it does not exist. So it must exist as house inherits the properties of a building. So we only show methods and subclasses if they are either additional methods or methods that have been overridden. Okay. So a rent collector requires a building, but a house is we can say a type of building. Wala no association is shown between the rent collector and house. Rent collector could take a bill for a house also. Here, another activity is to modify this UML diagram to show that determinant is overridden in the house. So here, di ba may hierarchy method diri na determinant. Then wala na siya display sa house, time we assume that this is inherited. So we only display this, umabot ang isang determined length, if we are going to implement a newer method with the same name. So by showing the determined rank in the house na class, so we are showing that this method is overriding the one defined in the superclass. So although same lang siya name, yung inherit sa house from the building, but it will have a different na behavior. So here, rent collector will invoke the method defined in the house if printing a bill for the house, but will use the method defined in the building for any other type of building. Okay. So the code in the rent collector does not distinguish between different types of building. Okay. Okay. So I think wala pa na siya na-define, but see superclass. So these are class or classes that has the general attributes and methods meant to be inherited by your subclasses. Muto kayo na, di ba? Ang sa pinakababaw, and then gina-point sang arrow na white ang yung head. So that is your superclass. So we can also refer to it as a parent class. Classes, subclasses naman. So these are classes that inherit attributes and methods from a parent class. So muna ang under sa ating superclass. Then this contains attributes and methods that are unique to it. So ang specialized na characteristics, this can be contained in your subclass. And this is, or the other term used here for subclasses are your child class. Okay. So when we're trying to create a superclass, so wala naman kita so like creating a normal na class in Java. So thus, any class can be a superclass unless specifically presented. So when we create a subclass naman, may keyword kita nga ganda. So we are using the keyword extend after the class name. So ang class na keyword, then followed by the class name, and here we add the extend na keyword. Meaning, we are inheriting from a superclass. So ang code niyan will inherit characteristics or attribute methods from the superclass na class. Okay, so we'll try, so we'll continue on discussing the next topic so in the next video. Thank you for watching and see you on the next